Can't connect to Nintendo servers. Yeah, you'll need to use Pretendo after. I think it's tomorrow? I don't remember. Also, no, I don't know how to teach anyone to play Splatoon 1 on the real Wii U. Sorry. It's out of my hands. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it a bit less than I thought, like, even motion bug aside. Mostly because, I think Bubble is, like, if I could change one thing about Splatoon 1, if we play the game competitively again, and need, like, one custom change, I think that Cherry should not be 180 light depletion. I think that Cherry 180 light depletion is the worst part about endgame Splatoon 1. If it could be like 200 medium depletion, I think the game would be really, really fun. I still think it's fun, even with Cherry like that, but I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like even Bucket with Burst Bomb has to work like decently hard to get valuable multi-kills in that game. And I just don't, I don't like how Cherry feels. By comparison. It's still fun. And it's nowhere near as bad as, like, K-Gal or Squeezer. In terms of how it feels to fight. But Bubble's just a little... Bubble is definitely the best special in the game. I thought Kraken was on the same tier before. I've always ranked them together. It took playing it again with context of more good players again to get the value of, like, no, Bubble is way better. Bubble is, like, own tier better. On Kraken CRB for S3? No! I mean, I don't want Kraken CRB to be Kraken CRB that it was in Splatoon 1. I actually don't find Kraken super enjoyable in S1. Honestly. I think it's just okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, CRB barely saw any use anyway this weekend, though. Unlike any of the tournaments. Just Bucket's so much better. Like, I think CRB is still easily top 5. Possibly top 3 in that game. But Bucket is just so good. It's so hard to beat Bucket. Oh, I knew that roller was hiding somewhere. Oh wow, we might choke this. Yeah, we did. Rip. Bucket's burst strike, yeah. The strike doesn't even matter. Strike isn't that bad, though. I think. I still think strike is bad, but it's like... It's a throwaway special. You just have like a millisecond of downtime and you just pop it and just launch it somewhere with no thought at all. And like, it's still a big get the fuck out of the way zone like Booyah Bomb is. That's what it feels like. It feels like Booyah Bomb, but worse. Like, it's Booyah Bomb if it had no HP and instead makes you have to like look at a minimap. That roller was doing. Nah, Zimmy is what you're thinking of with Disruptor Bubble. I mean, it was fun. I don't know, like, it's so weird to talk about Splatoon 1 for those who haven't played it. Like, I think if you play Splatoon 3 and transfer to Splatoon 2, or vice versa, it's like a comparable experience, you know? Like, you can get from one to the other and then kind of recognize the changes. I think going from Splatoon 3 or 2 exclusively to 1, like, at a top level, it kind of just, it's not the same at all. Like, I was playing with Sun today for the Academy tournament. You know, I was, like, kind of just watching them play after I got to sub out. And he's never played Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 1. And it's just like, there are so many goddamn things to get. And he had fun with it. He found it really fun, but it was also like, you can really get experience gap in that game. Like, I think our team for that tournament was super inexperienced for S1. Like, we basically just had Mecha as the only one, because I wasn't playing after the first 2 rounds, because of the controller stuff. Mecha was the only person with actual, like, comp S1 experience, and, like, I could tell there was just an experience gap. That, like, mattered. When they were able to play and Mecha was able to help them out with decision-making. Like, knowing how to play Splatoon 1 just takes a bit of experience, I think. I think anyone who's previously played the game had a huge advantage in that tournament. They would always tend to do better. And I can't even really, like, fully explain why either, because it's kind of hard to. It's just, you need to understand how Splatoon 1 plays. It's just not the same. At all. That's why I think it could probably keep its own scene, though. Like, I think Splatoon 2 and 3 will always compete too heavily to exist on their own. They're just too much of the same game. Or not the same game. The same mechanics, I want to say. The same decision-making at times. Like, obviously the games are very different quality-wise, and what's good and all that. But, like, what I'm trying to say is if you know how to play Splatoon 3, you can figure out how to play Splatoon 2 at a decent level. Like, not at the highest level will it transfer for either of those games, but you can know most of it. You can get the idea of what you need to do. I think Splatoon 1 actually takes a while to understand what to do, if you haven't played it before. That's why I think FT1 was doing comfortably better than everyone else in the Splatoon 1 tournament. As, like, outside of Goss, the others all played it, as far as I'm aware. And, like, especially Kyo knows Comp S1 very, very well. But it's just, it's a different game, and I like that. I think that it has its own unique vibe to it, and that, like, lets it stand out a lot. I could see people playing it over the other games one day. But I think that is a different topic on how accessible stuff like this is. Okay, let's talk in, like, blatant terms. It depends on how accessible emulation is, and Pretendo servers. Which, you know, I'm not saying I've done anything. But from what I know, it's not too bad a process. And, like, I have an odd motion bug that's totally not related to emulation at all. I'm not saying that. But I was the only person who at least that I know that has had that. And for the most part, I think it's pretty simple to set up. And there's also just a way to get all the stuff in the game that's pretty accessible on this emulator I don't have. So, like, even if you've never played the game, you could theoretically get, like, all the weapons and gear and the exact abilities and all of that. Not something I've done, but I know that's a thing that you can do. However, I still think the process, that I'm not familiar with in any way, I still think the process is probably still going to be difficult for most people. Could name this emulator. No, I have no idea what it's called. So I guess it depends what other options are there in the future, what we get, what people are doing. So that was double 52. So we'll have to see later how things go. Yeah, PC port would never happen. Obviously. I can't imagine that. I don't know. And also, like, I've seen Dude talk about it a bit. And, like, Dude is so positive about this series. Like, you guys have seen Dude talk about the game. And, like, even, I've still seen, like, Dude be like, Splatoon 1 comp hits different. And he's right. He's so right, though. It was really fun watching Dude in particular play S1 comp. Just reminded me of watching the game a while ago. And I can tell, like, you know, I get a pretty good vibe for how how much a competitor is into the game, you know? Like, I can kind of get a glance and tell. Like, you know, because I just understand comp pretty well. Like, I understand that kind of vibe. I can tell dude is so much more into S1 comp. Like, watching him today. He was locked in those sets. Like, he was still having fun with his friends and stuff, but I could tell he was, like, way more invested than I've seen him in years. And I'm not trying to say he doesn't like S3, because I think he does. But, like, I could tell he loved that fucking game, like, so much competitively. It was really fun to watch. I don't know. It's also just cool because dude doesn't really play a lot of S3 comp these days. So I think a lot of people, especially other top players, kind of forget how good he actually is at the game. Like, so many top players have barely fought dude or haven't fought him at all. You kind of forget that how good he is. So it's cool to see. Why would they? Because he doesn't, like, play scrims almost ever. It's hard to get a vibe for a player when you haven't played them for a while. And, like, I'm more familiar with dude because I've, like, played against him in other events, like Creator Clashes, or just scrimmed with him more in general. He won EU champs? He won UK champs, not European champs. European champs is Kaiser. And yeah, I'm not saying anyone doesn't think he's good. Don't get that, Chester. I'm saying I think he's way better than he gets credit for. I think people forget that just generally. I just think he's further ahead of the curve than people think. So it's just cool to see him compete. But that's just me, you know, I watched dude a lot when I was in S1. So, you know. No problem, Jazz. Also, I think we lost that game. Could have definitely gotten that kill. Also, it feels weird playing S3 after playing S1. Part of it's because I'm not fighting the damn controller anymore, but I don't know, it's just like... The game pacing is so different going back. I played mostly Splatoon 1 the past 2 days, so it feels really weird to go back. My brain is just kind of fried. I know, it was just cool. I don't know, I had a fun time today. Like, honestly, this weekend didn't go as I hoped. Like, I really hoped I could just fix the motion bug and compete really well in the game where my weapon's even better and have a great time doing that. But instead, I more had a good time helping other people try out Splatoon 1 for the first time or first time in a while and telling them about the game. A completely different experience than I thought, but I honestly think I liked it more. It was really cool just seeing a lot of non-hardcore Splatoon 1 players trying and liking the game, like in the past week or so in general, but, you know, especially being a part of that was really fun. So I was just, you know, I don't know. I think it's really, like, I guess validating in a way, to see, like, players who don't have Splatoon 1 nostalgia factoring into their opinion still really enjoying the game. And I'm not saying everyone did. There are critiques of it. I think Jared in particular didn't like it very much, but like seeing the majority of people, like top players that I talked to, trying out the game and liking it, and like saying stuff like, damn, the maps really were that amazing, or how the meta felt and stuff, or the kits. Like Madness especially made a whole post, and I'm like, oh my god, people get it. They get it. It's not a bias thing. This is a guy who doesn't play the game. And he still gets it. It was really cool to finally see that. Will it convert into anything after this weekend? I doubt it. Maybe more people would play S1 for fun. Are we going to see, like, Pretendo S1 events? I don't know. I don't know if we're there yet, but... The good news is I think for many top players, Splatoon 1 is on the radar. And if the game stays in a bad spot, I think more people are going to see it as an option to play instead. obviously I'd love it if the games just had 2 separate scenes and they didn't conflict with each other. But I don't think Splatoon is large enough to warrant that. And, like, if you guys think growing Splatoon 3 is hard, you might see why growing Splatoon 1 might be difficult as well. But, you know, we have to see what happens. And, like, there's a lot of very passionate people about Splatoon 1. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do more content on it, personally. That's something I have to think about. Like, I have a video planned for tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna spoil what it is, because it's so unfortunate. I saw, like, I think the channel is called The Stone. I might have mixed them up, but I'm 90% sure. Do a video on Splatoon 1 is broken. And said in the comments, I hope Chara doesn't have the same video plan today. And I was like, damn it. It's not today, but I may or may not. I may or may not have that video planned for tomorrow. There may or may not be script, recorded footage, and draft already done. I was like, fuck. Hugo says, thank you for the tier 1. I don't think it's a big spoiler, because that's what I did when Splatoon 2 ended as well. So, like, you know, huge shocker, that's what I'm doing again. But yeah, that's the video. So please watch both. I will link it if I remember. I will link both, so please watch both. But yeah, I am doing that. That's tomorrow's upload. If nothing goes wrong, you'll see it 9 AM PST. So, that's funny. Boy, I read it in the description, I was like, oh, god damn it. But hey, it's already way too far in the process. Also, while I'm talking up Splatoon 1, I will say, Splatoon 1 did give me more appreciation for some of the things Splatoon 3 did well. Like, obviously it made the blemishes of Splatoon 3 worse too. Like, my god, Zuka in this game feels even more annoying knowing that Splatoon 1 has, like, double the startup and it feels way more fair. Like, that's so annoying already. But a lot of things, like, yeah, it's a good reminder, yeah, the special design in that game still isn't great. It's still way better in this game. Stuff like Crab or Jetpack in this game dwarf the satisfying of any Splatoon 1 special. It's not fucking close. And I like how some of the weapons feel in this game more. Also, Stamper is just a fucking S1 gun. Vanilla Stamper feels like it could just fit in Splatoon 1. Like, if someone modded it into S1, it would feel, like, right at home. It would probably need to get some of its nerfs reverted to fit S1. Like, I think it would have to be, like, 190 caster and then revert the ink efficiency changes, maybe, and keep the rest for it to feel fair. Otherwise, Bucket would probably just shit on it, but I feel like it would fit so well in that game otherwise. That and Tetra, but of course Tetra would fit well in S1. Huge surprise. You know, like, I like range more in this game. I don't like the kit as much, but I actually like the main weapon more. That's kind of a weird thing to think about. A lot of main weapons weren't, like, good in S1 feel better now, like Squiffer or Splash. But, like, I like range more as well. I'm not even really sure why I like range more in this game. And yeah, I might have forgotten to answer this question a while back. I just got reminded of it, but, range with the CRB kit was never just because I like it in S1. I don't enjoy Kraken in S1 anywhere near as much in this game. In this game, it's my favorite special to use. In S1, it's not. My favorite special to use in S1 is Zuka. Zuka and Whale are my favorites. Like, I played T-Tech in S2, just so I could play Zuka. I like it that much. If you ever see me pick T-Tech, that's why I'm picking it. I'm picking it to use Zuka. And, you know, I don't do that in this game. But I love the Kraken rework a lot more. It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. It has problems. But, man, Kraken in S1 feels so fucking weird. It feels so weird. I don't even know how to say it. full-on tutorial for range. I want to do a guide on it right now, but I have to get the Stamper guide done first. Plus, I want to wait for the second range kit before I do it. Also, it will absolutely be longer than my other two guides because I'm going to merge it with S-Blast. I've been debating it for a while behind the scenes, but I think range and S-Blast have to be covered together. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to try new CRB gear. I should actually make this. Hold on. I'll change it after this. Oh, one small thing, by the way. I've talked about this before, but I have to mention it again. I had a moment in one of the Splatoon 1 sets where I hit two people with an indirect, and I couldn't see them, and I could call that it was two separate people. Holy shit. Having that sound effect be different, depending on the amount of people, is a huge, like, it's such a good buff. It comes in handy way more than you think. Like, it's so nice to know you're actually hitting two different people. New gear? Yeah, I'm gonna take off comeback. I can fit 2 subs of swim speed already, so I don't think comeback's worth it. Weight breaker is just not good. So I've been trying to think of what I can run that's better than wave. Because I think just stacking a bit more QR or swim or whatever isn't that worth it. And I need a main and a sub of, sub saver anyway if I want to do no comeback. So I'm only getting one thing, so what could I put? So I have a few, I had an idea I wanted to try. I'll see if I can fit it. I also might not do 0.1 sub in main saver. I'm not sure if I want the consistent third shot after a bomb or not. I have to see. Dude, my aim is not there right now. Holy. I need to just sit bottom left instead. You have triple backline? Yeah, so they would too, but Squeezer counts as a backline. So does Dowser. At least Squeezer's not the only one. But when's the last time you've seen a Dowser? Dowser's cool, man. I hope we see it. I hope they actually buff that weapon. Yeah, QHJ build is actually what I'm trying, yeah. Switching the main of comeback for QHJ. I'm not sure if I also ditch the swim speed or not, because I'd have no comeback boost. So I'm debating what I want to do. But I thought about trying QHJ build. Yeah, Lobster uses comeback, but I don't agree with it. I feel like it's hard to switch off comeback, but I don't feel like comeback is correct. It just doesn't feel like I'm getting everything out of it that I should. And I also just feel like I don't want to be dead as much. I need to die less with my own gameplay, generally. Also, retakes are just doomed with this comp. We actually have nothing. Damn. Gambit Tetra? I don't think Tetra's worth picking, period. But sure. You can go for it. Damn, also series. Oh. Okay. Let's think. Let's think here. And see if we can come up with something right. Okay. So this is my builds right now. I don't really use the Gambit set, but I have one. So, necessities. This is like absolute must-haves, no matter what I do on my build. This doesn't have to be a main. Let me just... Okay. This is the amount of gear freedom we have to work with. Hi, Pony. This is the amount of gear freedom we have to work with on RB. To decide what I want to do. So... Technically, I could just do this. This was my idea. This was my idea. You get the QSJ time. The twice as fast QSJ for 1.1. And you get an extra shot after a bomb with RB. So you get consistent third shot after bomb. And you still have enough QR. But I don't have any swim speed. The other idea is to do swim, which buffs from 1.92 to 2.01. That's pretty significant. Is to do 2 subs of swim. But then I have no sub or main saver at all. The other idea is to say, fuck doing a QSJ build entirely, and do this, and then have both, and then just, what the hell do you do here? Like an extra QR sub, probably? Or a sub defense, whatever. So I'm not really sure what I want. Could also just do 0.2 QSJ here. And have, like, still 50 frames. So this is another option. But really just, I don't know how good QSJ RB is. But an extra 10 frames are a lot. So that's what I'm thinking build-wise right now. I might honestly just try both. Right. And look, if I didn't need IA, I could fit this easily. But it's not the world we live in. We do need IA. And then even here, I still don't know. Do you think stealth jump is a necessity? Yeah, of course. This build is basically just the parts I want from comeback being active more often. Like, it's technically not as much, though. The one downside with this, though, is I don't have bomb spam as much. This is nowhere near as good sub spam as having a main of 3 abilities. That's the biggest reason I haven't gotten rid of comeback. If CRB gets Kraken, what would you? Oh, if CRB gets Kraken, it's just this build, but switch the swim speed for Special Saver. Nothing else would change. I would absolutely need comeback if I have a Kraken I'm building. And then, yeah, 2 sub Special Saver would be a must. But right now, the charge up and Special Saver isn't very necessary because Wavebreaker is just whatever. It'll probably be 200 or 210. I can see it being 210 if it's swap on Kraken. Yeah, I don't know what I want for these. And then this, I still don't know, like, what I do with these 2 subs. For Custom Blaster? Or what do you mean? What do you run on S-Blast? This. Pretty much, the only thing I would change is the IA sub for Special Saver. This is pretty set. Custom? Jetpack, Zuka... I don't know for the third. Jetpack Zuka is easy top 2. Easy. No, I don't think Kraken would be as good on Small Blaster. Small Blast is, like, fine fighting up close. The Kraken doesn't help as much. It more needs stuff to fight at long range. CRB more wants stuff to fight at short range. Okay. Well, if I did this... So I mean main of IA. Yeah, it would have to be a specifically a main of IA. Hmm. Am I using this on anything? I don't know if I am. I'm not. On Spot Ball and CRB, just good get off me tool. It's the same thing, really. I just kind of throw it near me. Oh, custom range? Oh. Kraken, Chump. Kraken and Chump are just so ahead on my top two. I don't know what else I'd want. Like, those two are there. Chump CRB would be really nice for zones. It'd be really, really good for zones. It'd be so much more impactful than Wave. Oh, no. IA is there. I don't like any of these shirts except this one, which I'm already using. I guess I could just reuse it. Wait, no, I'm not using it. I'm dumb. Why did I think I was using this? Oh, the QR subs. Ah. I want Chump on so many things? I don't want it on so many things. It works for my weapons. That's just a me thing. You do not have, like, anything good looking with IA except this. Like the earring. This kinda matches, but it doesn't go well with the shorts. So weird shirt. I think there's just no winners here regardless. I really don't want to change this though, because I could use it on something else. The Wind Crusher? What's that? Oh. Yeah. Guess this would require the least amount of chunks. That or this one, but I'm not wearing this, dude. One hope for the mid-season patch, what would it be? Zuka fix. If I could do one thing in the patch, I would completely rework Zuka. What subs do I have? I have no QR. I have a QSJ, right? I have plenty of QSJ. What is this? QSJ swim. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, man. I should have put it as QSJ. Oh, well. There goes 9 main saver subs. So swim, QSJ, and main saver. And that's the gear. So that's one idea. So we can make that. Let's make the other one now. I have like no QSJ ads. I have nothing with QSJ, wow. Might be a problem. I guess the visor's okay. Be the same hat. Could probably even use the same shoes. These. This might look better though. And the shirt. It's not gonna look great regardless, but this is less sea snails. Oh my god, I almost wasted 5 snails. This would be what? 2 IA? And a res. And that would be this. Alright, that's some interesting stuff to try in the next scrim, huh? Alright. That's it. Short enough stream for today. I'm gonna raid Ollie. Small stream today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm gonna get off. I feel like doing some Lethal Company today. So, I'm gonna go. Oh, one small thing. Moonlight might be cooking up an interesting comp. If it works, I'll let you guys know about it a bit more. See ya.